So we help bringing local commerce online. And one of the reasons why Groupon is so strong is because e-commerce usually is about, anonymous online offerings of companies that work on a national level. But like in every economy, the local commerce are the thousands, the tens of hundreds of thousands of small businesses which are the backbone of any economy. These companies are usually not strong on the internet or are not in the internet at all, but they are the foundation of every economy, and they're also the foundation of society. If you buy something online, it's anonymous usually, but if you go into a store next door from your house, you probably even know the owner, and he can say hello, knows you by name, and can treat you in a different personal manner, which gives a different touch to doing business. And these businesses, with the advent of e-commerce, face a very tough time because they have no chance against this huge competition of big companies which are on the internet. But these companies are not only the backbone of the economy for fun, they are it because they're driven by entrepreneurs. So by people who wake up every morning and have to answer themselves the question, what do I do today to drive more business, to save my company, to expand, to do something? And this creativity is so strong that this segment of the economy also survives, in many cases, tough times much better than bigger companies. And with Groupon, these companies have finally found a way to go online. And not just to go online, have a nice website, that's easy, but to do business online, to drive revenues. So when we say we bring these companies online, then this means that we give them a platform where they can get a lot of visibility. Groupon is in pretty much every of those 48 countries among the top 30, top 20, top 50 most visited websites in that country's e-commerce environment. We're the biggest email sender around the world. We have almost 40 million buyers online and much more subscribers which every day receive an email in their city with a targeted offer. So all this huge visibility and traffic that we create, each company does a deal in one city, like in the market of Lisbon, for a day, gets access for free because they don't pay us anything, to that immense visibility which they would usually have to buy at a very high price with an online marketing agency. So for one day, they're like the company on the first page of our homepage. And the beauty of this is that they are not just visible like they're in traditional advertising. I can put a poster here on a motorway and everybody sees me, but nobody can live off that visibility. So what Groupon does, it joins this massive online visibility with conversion into what is probably the most interesting thing for a company to have: buyers, paying clients. So this visibility together with every 24 hours, new offer, new offer, new offer, so you don't have a lot of time. So either buy today or you lost the deal. So there's a lot of urgency from the customers to buy. And this huge discounts, again, if you find a dinner at 60, 70% off the normal price, that's not normal. This drives, in a very short time, a lot of buyers into that company's business. And in these 2.5 years I've worked in this company and founded this business, I've spoken to so many entrepreneurs who've told me that the sheer amount of people that they manage to get through their doors, sit down and do something which makes them spend money, what they did in 24 hours in Groupon is what they usually do in like months, if not a year, in the offline world. So that is a bit the power of this huge amount of people in the community of social shoppers on Groupon, connected with great offers from traditional offline stores in the offline world. So this was the first step, tons of customers in a very short time. And what we're now working on is to go to the next step, because we've seen that many companies have, many of these offline companies have a lot of difficulty in moving in the internet. They don't know what to do. Internet is something completely new. They don't understand the buyers that come from the internet. They don't understand what to do with these guys. They only see they're different, and we talk about the buyers in a second. And they are also not prepared for the huge amount of business they get through their door. Like, I've seen so many restaurant owners or spa owners that on the day of publication, when you get hundreds, thousands of phone calls, something that you don't get in months together usually, collapse. Because it's too strong for them. They cannot handle the volume. They don't know how to handle so much business because they're not used to it. It's small businesses. Yeah? So what we're trying to do is now enabling these companies, giving them additional software. Sometimes it's stupid stuff, but reservation systems, yield management system where you can manage your inventory, payment systems. We have acquired companies that will provide at very low rates credit card payments for many businesses that don't have this today because the rates are so high. And there we can bring the scale of our huge international corporation to get cheap prices to advantage local businesses. User feedback. Every time you use a Groupon and we pay the merchant, we've seen you've used your voucher, we send you an email and ask you for feedback. Many of these companies are not used to receiving feedback. I was just talking here before the event about that I was in an event with some partners recently, and we had 2 restaurant owners who did a campaign with Groupon, and same city, same size, comparable situations. One of them had a 25% return rate, so 1 in 4 customers who first came with a coupon came back in the next couple of months. It's a pretty good ratio for a restaurant. The other one did not even manage to get to 10%. These guys were speaking about, okay, what did you do and what did you do? Because we compared the cases. Yeah, the reality is both of them got feedback online, especially in TripAdvisor, which is something that, for example, in the offline world doesn't exist. So restaurant owner A, with the 25% feedback, first of all, moderated all the communication on TripAdvisor. When he got a bad rating, he replied, contacted directly the customer that was not satisfied, asked him to come back and give him a second chance, offer him a next dinner. When the customer then came, said, okay, look, I treat you well today. If you like my service, go back to TripAdvisor and share the feedback you had tonight. Restaurant owner B did nothing. So here you have a clear case of, I mean, for us who are online, who are on Facebook, Twitter every day and night and read emails, this sounds completely stupid, but you must understand that out there is a world which is completely different from us, which is not closely as online as we are. And it costs me sometimes to understand that, but it really exists and it's huge. Yeah? So there was a case where you saw how one business owner used the internet, the social media, the feedback, in his advantage to gain users, and did what he was used to do in the offline world. When a customer comes to the restaurant, hello, good evening, how are you, which seat you want, this or that, the personal treatment, he put this online and did something similar, yeah, on the internet. Restaurant owner B had no clue, no idea. Trashed on TripAdvisor, one negative feedback triggers the next negative feedback, because we're all good at complaining, yeah? Very few of us go online to say something good about other people or companies, yeah? Especially companies. So, there's tons of these examples. I could talk now for hours about this, but this is this kind of attitude where local businesses have to change their mindset to understand that you cannot just get tons of people out of the internet, but you have to also change the way you do business. I've had, for example, another fun example is I had an English school who told me that they offered classes, and they saw that these guys that came from Groupon, yeah, they all loved English, yeah, and they were very interested in the classes, but what they liked much more than the language was the fact that they got to know other people in the class, apart from the boys and girls stuff. Yeah? So, and this guy in the end changed his offers, and on top of the usual grammar classes, started doing a huge business where he did much more revenues with conversation classes, social events in English, because it's an English school, but he also changed his product to adapt to a different audience who had a different need than the traditional offline customers. And I talk to these kind of merchants every day, and I see this in every industry, from English schools and restaurant to car driving courses, spas, hotels, barbershops, whatever you can find out there. And it's very interesting to see how with the Groupon offers, they've changed the way to do business, to get in touch and earn money with these new customers that they understand. Now, let's have a look at who are these customers. So when we create markets, we mean that we also broaden the offer out there. Before Groupon, you could not buy a haircut, a dinner, a massage online. This is not offers that you traditionally find in e-commerce. So we have, and it's a market rule, so offer and demand, yeah. So we've brought a lot more offer to the internet, which has also driven a lot of people to buy online, which before had never thought about it because they were not interested in books from Amazon or, I don't know, flights from EasyJet. Yeah? So, but now that there's a different offer, we've given many people also a reason to take out their credit card, go on the internet and buy something which have never thought about this. We think that probably half the business, especially in my nice Southern European offline countries, yeah, from Portugal to Greece, yeah, almost half of our users and businesses have probably never bought or sold anything online. As I talked to the business, I also did a lot of market research in the last month on these users, and we saw that this is a very cautious online audience. They try to find some experiences online, they have very high expectations on what they buy, and they are super informed about the things that they buy online. Yeah? So we can, and many of them buy things that they would never have thought to buy before. Either because they didn't know that such a business existed. So in restaurants, you go to the restaurant under your house and the one under your office every day, and suddenly you know about all these great places, or even strange places like ethnic food or something like this that you might never have considered. So we drive a lot of people into non-ordinary businesses. Or how many people have thought about bleaching their teeth, or losing weight, or doing laser hair depilations before Groupon? There were many of these people, but it was a very limited, elitarian market at very high prices for very few people. We have opened up, for example, the entire beauty and wellness sector, made it a mass market. Yes, you earn less money as a company with each of these customers, but before you had 10, now you might have 10,000. So think about how you can open up your market to drive a lot more business. And we've given many people awareness of services that they would have never considered before. And since it's all online, they can inform themselves. The internet is completely transparent. You find tons of information. If it's true or not is a different topic. But we've generated also a lot of interest in services that were completely not represented on the internet. And we can also move markets. For example, here, dentists. This is a very traditional industry which works a lot with long-standing clients. So we found partners in this industry which have understood a bit the opportunity in the internet, have done campaigns with us, and others who haven't. And I spoke at some associations sometimes and tell me, yes, but you destroy the market. I say, I don't destroy the market. There's a reality out there called the internet that you can face or not, and you have to adapt to it. Those who can take entire pieces of their market and bring it into their business. Those who wait every day that the business keeps coming like always lose. But that's nothing that we have invented that's going to happen anyway, so we just make this faster than it would have been usually. And the speed is the other thing. We've brought a lot of companies to think a lot faster than they used to do. You have 24 hours of offering, you have one day where the people call you, that's your chance for the next X months to get these people and convert them into users, and after that, these people come in the next 6 or 8 weeks in masses into your business. If you do something wrong at that point, you're not prepared to serve them properly, your service is not good, or you cannot just handle the volume of reservations, you're screwed. And you get direct feedback online, be it on Facebook, on forums, on TripAdvisor, on opinion sites. This can also be a backlash if you are not, prepared for this. And that's how we also move segments of market and make markets bigger. Relatively young audience is 25, 44 years old. We have more, the second biggest group is the one over the 44 years, because it also depends on how much you spend. These people spend a lot of money. Average purchase has gone, from 20 to 30 to 40 to now over 60 euros per purchase of these users. So the internet is not about spending little money, it's about spending a lot of money. You just need to give people a good reason to spend a lot of money. It's a very female audience. This has been also one of the big surprises. 60% of the users and buyers is tendentially female. So I don't know what happens to the girls out there, but they love social shopping. And in our case, obviously, they live a lot in urban areas, which are those places that concentrate also a lot of the offer and have a relatively high average income. We did a study in the EU, and it's around 40,000 euro of yearly average income, which is way over the average. So it's also a very interesting high spending segment. They're obviously medium-heavy internet users, as I said before, super informed. We did focus groups where we interviewed people, and we asked them about how they use our site and how they analyze the offers before buying, because the online purchase has the disadvantage that you can't touch, you can't see anything, so the only thing you have is image and word, and you have to compensate the knowledge gathering with images and words with what you have in the offline world usually, to do the decision, do I buy, do I not buy? This goes very quickly. And these guys are so laser sharp in the way they read online offers that it is really amazing. Like every single word, you do one little orthographic or formal mistake and it can screw up the entire offer and has a huge impact on users. They compare online, whatever. We can write, great restaurant, fantastic place. They all go to TripAdvisor, other local restaurant sites. They inform themselves on other pages. So it's a very scrutinizing audience and a very informed audience. Yeah? And this is also one of the big problems of the merchants, because in the offline world, people can inform themselves not as fast, not as precise, and not at such a transparent environment, and they can't give feedback so fast. In the offline world, there's no Facebook, no TripAdvisor. Online there is, and everybody sees it. So if you treat a customer badly, in the offline world, nothing really happens. Online, you get a backlash immediately, and this is one of the key things that you have to understand about these social shoppers, and the fact that they are, like the word says, social. We drive a lot of business through Facebook, both acquisition, but also communication with users, sales. And we do a lot of social media campaigns with the few partners who do deals with us who have an own social media page. And users love this. They like to, if you ask a little question, if you get a reply in 5 minutes, they're so happy because somebody cares about them and they have that personal interaction. They love this. And this can be a huge advantage. If you treat customers well, you have a huge potential for a viral effect on the internet, a positive viral effect, which is so difficult to obtain. On the other side, you do one little mistake and the backlash is much bigger. So caring and understanding caring about these people, understanding them and communicating with them for small business fundamental. Again, for us who work in the internet environment, this is a completely normal priority. And we have our own codes on how we write and not write, abbreviations and style and so. But again, we're a minority in here, unfortunately, yet. Yeah? And there's so many other people out there who will getting access to this kind of world and do first steps here. And again, it's experiences. Yeah? Groupon is a site which offers huge discounts, but we don't sell bread and butter at 50%. We sell luxury hotels, expensive stuff. And the customers we have are looking for experiences to experience something new online. At this point, I think there's one other slide I want to add, because I get this question a lot, particularly in Portugal, in how is it doing business in a down economy. This down economy highlights some specific aspects of our business model. So there's some positive effect, because in tough economic times, businesses need to control their costs totally. And need new customers. There's so many businesses out there who are just empty and close. So customers are important, but you have no money to pay for them. So Groupon brings the efficiency, the total numeric efficiency and tracking of online advertising to the offline world. Because the companies who do a deal with us, they pay, so to say, with the huge discount they give, and then we do a revenue share from the proceeds. But for every customer, if no customer comes, they don't spend €1. So they just get traffic. They only pay when they give a discount, so they pay per acquired customer. So they do CPA deals like we used to do them in the online world every day. This is a very efficient model, and for the consumers, obviously, these huge discounts on luxury experiences give you the possibility to keep on spending and kind of maintain a lifestyle that you would otherwise no longer afford to be able to afford, because pockets are tight and the budgets are much smaller than they were time ago. But on the other side, you could also look at it in a more prosperous environment. I am speculating about this because we started the company when the economy was going only downhill, so I don't know, is a guess. I hope we can validate this assumption someday, hopefully not too late. In a prosperous environment, like we see, for example, there are some countries which don't have down economies where we are, business invest much more aggressively, so do stronger offers, are more competitive, fight much more for market share, so the offers get much better, which again drives more business in general, but also the users have a much higher budget, so it's a much more positive business environment. So this model in some way or the other works good in both ways. Obviously it benefits everybody, the better off everybody is. That's why it's not necessarily that Groupon has had this huge success because of the economy. This is just a side effect. And that said, I'd like to thank you.